Okay, in today's video, I want to share with you guys my favorite polishes to wear as pedicures during summer. I have been asked several times to do an all occasions pedicure, favorite pedicures polishes, but I thought instead I could separate it by season. And why not start with summer, since there's a lot of fun colors to wear during the summer months. Spring and summer are the seasons that I tend to switch out my pedicure more often because I'm wearing open-toed shoes, sandals, or flip-flops, whatever. And so if you're going to the beach or getting in the pool, or just I tend to walk barefoot a lot, my pedicure just tends to get beat up a little bit sooner. But I usually tend to switch out of my pedicure about once a week, and that's for every single season, but sometimes during fall and winter I'll even go 2 weeks. So I pulled out, I really wanted to stick to 5 polishes, but I pulled out 6 polishes. I think I still have one more polish to put on so I can take a picture. So I do have pictures of pedicures to share with you guys so you guys can see what it looks like on the toes. Polish wise, I tend to, and I've mentioned in a lot of videos, like monthly manis videos, if there's a particular polish that I adore the color, but the formula is a little bit too difficult for me, I tend to reserve them for pedicures because I love the color so much. I still want to wear it. And so although maybe I won't wear them as manis, I will wear them for pedicures a little bit more often. I will wear them as manis also, but I tend to reserve them mainly for pedicures. So I'm going to start off with the first color, and this is the one that I still need to wear and take a picture of, and that is Pastel Pinks. I don't think that's a surprise. I've mentioned many a times, and I think I sound like a broken record because I adore Pastel Pinks, not only for spring but also for summer months. So colors like these, for instance, this one I wore during spring and it is so adorable. I love it. I wore it as a manicure and then wore it as a pedicure. This was new to me this past spring and it was so beautiful. This pastel pink though is a little bit deeper than a couple of the other ones that I'm going to mention because the other ones have a little bit more white in them. This one though also has this blue little shimmer that shows up really nicely on the nails. The formula is a little bit thinner, which is why I like this polish for the toes, because it can take three good coats for sure. Very adorable. I loved wearing this one as a pedi. This one is called Kiss by Mist, and this is from ESSIE. All the pastel pinks I'm going to mention here are from ESSIE because they have so many pastel pinks to choose from, really, and I love them all. I do have a pastel pink collection video from ESSIE, so I will link it up in the cards if in case you guys want to check it out. This one's not going to be included though because I bought this one, I think, just this spring. So really beautiful color. The other one is Frida Rome, which I've mentioned quite a few times, and I love this not only as manicure but especially as pedicure during summer. I love pastels, and I've mentioned that before. During summer especially, even more so than I do in spring, because against my tan skin it almost looks like a neon. It really, pastel colors really stand out against my skin tone very well. My feet are even a little bit more dark than my hands are, so it really brings out the richness of my tan, which is why I love wearing these colors. So this is Frida Rome. I'm gonna have to wear one of these to take a picture of it. And then last one, which should be no surprise, this is one of my all-time favorite pastel pinks. I mean, can we all say it at the same time? It's Fiji. I love Fiji. Tricky formula, trickier than these 2 other ones, although Kiss by Mist is a little bit more sheer. The formula is not quite as tricky. It still does require 3 coats, but they're 3 fairly easy coats, and at 3 coats it looks pretty even. And Frida Rome, I mean, this is one of the better formulated pastel pinks, but it also doesn't have as much white as Fiji does, if you can see here. And Fiji is just a little bit warmer, to where I feel like Frida Rome is a little bit more cool leaning. And it's just really, really beautiful. But Fiji's amazing. And because it does have a tricky formula, I do tend to reserve it a lot for the toes, but it doesn't hold me back from wearing this as a manicure because I'm willing to put up with the difficulty of the formula because I adore the colors so much. And then the next one is a neon coral. And this one specifically is from Julie G. I mentioned it, and I think I even shared a pedicure last year in one of my monthly manis videos because I love neon corals on the toes. I currently have this polish on my toenails right now. It's so pretty. And my pictures, I'm going to tell you right now, do zero justice. I try to take it, the picture, and I'm going to try to take it in another room and see if I can turn off as many lights as possible because I feel like this in the dark especially is when I can take the best picture and to try to get as much color accuracy as possible. I took a couple of pictures in my kitchen because it was pretty dark and it's a cloudy day today, so it was a perfect time to take it, but it still didn't capture the vibrancy of this polish. So this is Bikini from Julie G. Tricky formula, I'm going to tell you right now, but again, I like reserving tricky formulas, but I love the colors, especially for the toes. And this one, 3 coats on the toes, and because it does dry to more like a demi matte finish, it does dry fairly quickly, and I love it. I'm like lifting my leg up. It's so pretty. You can also bring out Flip Flop Fantasy. Flip Flop Fantasy is a really good color to wear. It's very similar to Bikini from Julie G. And this one specifically is a little bit even more similar than the old formula from Flip Flop Fantasy, only that I feel like this has even a little bit more red than the original Flip Flop Fantasy. But if you have the recent Flip Flop Fantasy that leans a little bit more orange, I think that one's really pretty. I just don't have it here to share because I broke my bottle last year, and I don't want to repurchase it again, only because I tend to lean for this one a little bit more because it leans a little bit more pink. I just like it a lot better. So Julie G's Bikini, you can find this one on Amazon. They no longer carry it at Rite Aid, but I found it on Amazon. I actually bought a couple of bottles of this one, and I've finished an entire bottle of this in the past. And then another color that should be no surprise because I mentioned a white polish in every summer pics type of video. It's just a regular all white. I've been using French Tip from Color Club as of late, but I've used a Snowy White, I think it's called, from Sinful Colors. I also have another white here from Sally Hansen. I had it just here. It's right over here. White On. And this one has a bit of a tricky formula, so you know, white polishes that have a bit of a trickier formula are great for the toes because you make use of the polish while still enjoying it. You know, it's sometimes if there's a polish like this one, for instance, can take about 3 coats, or if you have a thinner formulated white that can require even 4 coats, you can leave it at 3 coats on the toes because it's so far you really can't see if there's any minimal bald spots. They're really not that noticeable, honestly. So White On from Sally Hansen, any white really that you have, I just tend to have quite a few on hand because it's one of my favorite polishes to wear in the summer for manicures, but especially for pedicures. I freaking love this. But just be mindful, you know, with white especially, it tends to look a little beat up after a week. So if you're wanting a two-week manicure, maybe stick with something a little bit, you know, like Julie G's Bikini's a great example, or even the Pastel Pinks. White just tends to get a little bit more dirty, especially because you're wearing open-toed shoes. Another color that I really love wearing is like an aqua blue color. So this summer I actually put on Splash from Dior, which looks really, really beautiful on the toes. This one has a little bit more of a green undertone, but I want to mention this one because this is a really great color for manicures. I love it. I've mentioned it for years now. It's a beautiful polish, great formula, and I adore it. But I quite honestly almost love this one more on the toes. I've worn this and then gotten in the pool. This was like a year or 2 later or something, and I happened to be getting in the pool, and this looks even brighter under pool water. It's so pretty. I love it so much. This one is from ESSIE and it's called Take the Lead. It's a lighter kind of almost sky blue, but just a little bit deeper than that because it's not very pastel. And this one also has a really great formula. A couple coats for Take the Lead from ESSIE and a couple coats for Splash from Dior. If you have it, bring it out, put it on the toes. It looks amazing, these two colors. But I really do prefer Take the Lead. It just looks a little bit brighter because it has a little bit more white, and then I feel like Splash has just a little bit more green, but it still looks amazing on the toes. The next color that I love wearing are mints. Pick your mint, any mint. Many brands make white polishes, pastel pink polishes, mint polishes. Every single brand has their version of it. Let's see, this is Gelato in Venice from Julie G. I've had this one for a while and I bought it at Rite Aid when Rite Aid still carried Julie G polishes, but Wet n Wild has a mint, I'm pretty sure. ESSIE has some mints, and OPI, most definitely. So Julie G's Gelato in Venice just has a little bit more yellow than this other one that I'm gonna mention. This is the one that you're gonna see on the toes though. This one is from Orly and it's the one from a recent release from their summer collection, and it's called Happy Camper. It has a little bit more blue than Julie G's Gelato in Venice, and Julie G's Gelato in Venice also has a little bit more white, but they're both really awesome colors. This one it stands out a little bit more, I feel, because of that blue undertone. And the formula of this one, 3 coats. On my nails, because I have some ridges on my hands, it did require borderline 4, but on my toes only 3 coats and I was done. Very easy application, a bit of a thinner formula, but 3 coats it leveled out for me on the toesies. And then the last one is like an orchid kind of color. It's not overly bright on the toes, but because this is has more of a like a blue undertone, it almost looks a little ultraviolet-ish, I guess you can say, where it stands out a little bit more against my tan skin. I really like it. And this one is from Sally Hansen and it's called Violet Voltage, and I don't know what collection this is from. They have a bunch of bright colors in this collection. I think I saw some I think I saw green or a mint color or something of the sort, but they had really fun colors in this lineup, and they have them all lined up right next to each other. I know at my local HEB they do have them aligned, and so did my Target, I want to say. But really beautiful color. This one is from the Miracle Gel line. If you have Scenic Root from Orly, that's also a really awesome color for the toes. It leans more pink than this one. This one's more orchid, very purple leaning, to where Scenic Root has just a little bit more red and it just leans a little bit more pink. I know there's was there a new one from Orly, Kaleidoscope Eyes? That would be a really great color. I just don't have it here to share with you guys, but I shared it in my Orly summer collection video, so I'll pull that one out. That's a really great color. Let me pull this guy out here. I just had polishes here. Why not? Let's keep talking. I haven't made a video in a little bit. So this summer I'm really into, I know I haven't done a top picks video, but I will be doing that. But pastel neons, bring out your pastel neons. Pastel neons tend to have a tricky formula, so pastel neons I think are amazing. These two I want to wear on the toes. This is another neon coral, very similar to Julie G's Bikini, only that Julie G's Bikini has more red, to where this one from LA Girl, it's part of their gel line. It leans more orange. Oh, artificial orange from Orly that came out in the summer collection. If you bought that one, that's a great color for the toes also. So anyways, this one is called Good Vibes Only. I don't have a swatch of this one, but I do want to mention it just because I have them here. And then this one also, Pastel Neon, a little bit more limey than the mints that I mentioned. So this is more like a limey kind of gelato, kind of bright yellowy green, I guess you can say. Also from LA Girl, also from the gel line. This one's called Flex. Look at this color. Look at this color against my skin. You're gonna tell me this is not gonna stand out beautifully. I love this. This is so, so beautiful. So that is everything. Maybe I'll do another top 5 or something like that, and I'll mention these. I've swatched them on my nails. I just didn't put them on my toes, but maybe I'll wear them as pedicures, and then I'll do another select 5 other polish colors or something like that, and then do another video if you guys are interested in seeing something like that, because there's a couple other colors that I also love wearing, like teals like this, that are very shimmery, very reflective. I think they look really beautiful also on the toes, but I didn't want to keep, you know, adding polish like these. You know, these look awesome as well. This would have been like a top 20 or whatever, just because every year I do alternate colors and stuff like that. But my ultimate favorite, if I was to get rid of any polish, or all of these polishes and only keep 2, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be a neon coral and a white. These are my staples every single summer, and then the other colors I tend to alternate or what have you, and somewhere maybe in the spring or something like that, or maybe leave them out this summer. But these 2 for sure never leave my side during the summer months, because I think I could go back and forth between these 2 and never get bored because they're so awesome. I love them. Okay, that is everything, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys found this video helpful, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.